Hey everybody, welcome back to Tavian's World of Reptiles. I hope you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. So, I am extremely frustrated. Betelgeuse is not eating again. He did not take the method that worked last time. Last time I took the no, froze it, thawed it with the rodents, and soaked it in the same water, and then put them together with the underneath the feeder. And he didn't eat last time because he was in shed. Well, now he's out of shed, and I have attempted to feed him again, and he is not taking. He did not take it, and it is at this point, I'm throwing in the towel of trying to quickly convert him over to rodents. I think I'm going to have to do this in a much slower, unfortunately, much more expensive route. Hands down, Betelgeuse is my most expensive snake. Not just how much I've had to pay, not just how much I paid for him, because I didn't pay for a lot for him, but feeding-wise. Feeding him is absolutely, hands down, the most expensive thing. I have been doing a nose because that's what I have. That's what was search first suggested, especially with him being small, and that's what was that was usually used for feeding lizard eating snakes. So I got a nose. However, at his size, he's gonna need to be eating at least 3 or 4 nose a week. That is $15 and $5 in a nose. That's $15 to $20 a week. That's easily close to damn near $60 a month just to feed him a nose. And so that's just not something that's gonna work for me. Like, really, it's not. So I've been kind of looking through some online websites where you can order reptiles. And I've found a few different slightly larger lizards out there that are not the most expensive. They're more expensive than the nose, but they're larger, so I'm expecting to only have to feed the one a week instead of having to do 3 or 4 a week. And so far, I found something that was like a sun skink, and then another one called a red-sided skink. Those are being sold, I think, on Underground Reptile for like $7 each. And so if I can get him eating on only one of those a week, as opposed to 3 or 4 nose a week, then that could keep me at like 10, only about $30 or $40 a month instead of $60 a month. And it's still expensive. That is hands down absolutely still an expensive feeding thing. But I'm hoping, with getting him off on a bigger lizard feeder, I can also use those feeders to scent. Maybe the nose are just not putting off enough scent to get actually on the rodents. So maybe if I can get these bigger feeders and do it still off, have them eat one of those a week, but also just kind of scenting a rodent underneath it, like a smaller rodent, and seeing if we can trick them into eating one of those along with it, and to the point where it stops being quite so much of needing to trick, and then just do a slow transition from these bigger lizard feeders off onto the rodents. Because everything I've seen, everything I've researched about these animals says that the bigger they get, the older and more open they are to actually eating rodents, because finding lizards, I'm sure for them that are actually something they can get in the wild, becomes a little bit more difficult as opposed to finding rodents. So I imagine that the older he gets, the more open he would be to eating rodents. So I'm just gonna chill out on trying to force the rodents on him now. I'm gonna feed off the rest of these noles. Literally just giving up on the rodents for the time being. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I'm going to feed off the rest of the nose, literally just dump all the last of the nose that I have away and feed them. Ashley's not going to be very happy about it. I'm going to become a bummed about it because so far I've just kind of been picking around the nose of my least favorites and leaving my favorites, but it's unfortunately I have another animal that I purposely got to keep as a pet, and he's a nose it. So I need to put that animal first, and he's got to eat. I need him eating regularly. So I'm also going to have to come out of pocket here soon after I drop these anoles and order a bunch of these other lizards that are bigger. Maybe just start off with 4 of them. I think what I saw on Underground is that they had like a 3-pack that you can order, so that might be something I look into or something. But I need to do something. I need to get him eating regularly. he should be eating much more regularly than this. He's not looking unhealthy, but I am out at this point starting to get a little concerned. So we need to make that happen. I need to make it happen. So the rest of the nose are gonna go. I'm gonna kind of pull back on trying to even try with the rodents for a while. I mean, I'm gonna get some of these. Wait till I get these bigger lizards in, and then try to see what I can do about switching him over using the bigger body lizards as scenters rather than trying to use these really tiny nose to scent because it's not working. And he needs to be eating. So it's time to stop trying all these different experiments and just straight up getting him where he's actually regularly eating. So I'm going to order some more expensive lizards here. And definitely lizards that look like they would be more pets. Like, I can see the nose. I mean, yes, they're amazing. And yes, they're really cool pets. But it seems like they do well with producing. And so I can understand why they're feeders. But some of these other ones that I'm looking at having to get, they're so cool looking, and they look like they would be really nice pets for people. But hey, at the end of the day, it is an animal eat animal world out there. Everything eats something. So my animal has to eat another something to survive, and that's just the way it's got to be. As much as I don't like it, it is what it is. But yeah, Beetlejuice, an expensive snake. But I wanted a challenge. I wanted a challenge, and I wanted an experience that I hadn't had before. So so far, with my boas and my pythons, I've got it down packed. I needed something of a challenge, and Beetlejuice is giving me that. I tell you what, just to get him eating, he is giving me that. Handling wise, he's still fantastic. I know a lot of people always say mangroves have foul attitudes, especially those wild caught ones. Well, he's wild caught, and he's pretty darn tame when it comes out. I've held him plenty of times, and he does not bite. He's not crazy. He's not wild. He moves a lot. But otherwise, he's pretty tame. He's pretty chill. Even at night, I've held him at nighttime too, and that's when people say you really want to be hands off with them because they get really into feeding mode. But I haven't experienced that with this guy. So anyway, but then again, he hasn't been eating regularly, so that might be a thing. So anyway, that's all. I don't want to keep rambling about this extreme failure that I've had going on with getting Beetlejuice to eat. But you all take care, love yourselves, love your reptiles, love your loved ones, and you guys keep spreading those herbs.